to the cloud. So we're moving up the trunk, and no more is it more evident than when we get to the third week. Getting ease in our mobility with all movement, ideally starting from the center and moving out and not the other way around. Welcome, Sally, Roberta. And so we talk about the red light, which is the flexors of the trunk, pulls us forward. So if we spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or hunching over, these are going to be tight. If we are more in the green light, the upper back, or the extensors of the back might be locked in place. And then of course we also have the side dudes, so we worked a little bit on those last week with the hips, but then we have rotation. So what I'm asking you to do is you stand just in a neutral, comfortable stand. Without force, just turn and look over one shoulder and then turn and look over the other shoulder and feel how does the rotation feel? Mark a place behind you and sense, what is the rotation like tonight? How much of your legs are involved? How much is available to you in your trunk? And when it comes to rotation, we have two sets. We have the internal and external obliques, and it's kind of funny. The external obliques, they kind of sit like if you're wearing one of those big hoodies where you have belly pockets. These are the external obliques. The fibers go down this way. Now the internal oblique, if you just take your left hand and just sort of tuck it under your right hand, that's your internal oblique, and they work in tandem for rotation. So as if you're rotating, so start rotating to the left, your right external oblique is going to be moving you into that twist, but the left will be pulling you along the way. So they have to work in tandem, but if the internal and external, they have forgotten how to talk together. What else are we using for this movement? So we'll lose to bring some ease to those muscles tonight too. Right around the spine too. So now come onto your back. Come onto your back. And again, please have your camera where I can see you, because I will be putting my eyes on you more tonight rather than you having to careen around and look at me. I can see then when you are confused and when I need to change my language. And as you rest on your back, take a moment and check in. Notice, how does your heels, sacrum, and skull rest? What about your shoulders? How do they touch? How much of the back of your thighs are touching as you rest? Getting an idea, of course, about the psoas, the mighty psoas, and that's part of the red light. It's the front line. If that is tight, it pulls the thighs up towards the lower abdomen. Notice also if you seem to be listing to one side, that may indicate a rotation. And that means that on the side you are listing to, you may have more tightness along the rotators. That's the name for the little itty bitty rubber bands right up and down the spine that also facilitate rotation. And they can get stuck going one way or the other. If we have been doing a movement, either turning, sitting in a desk always to the same side, or if we're playing golf or tennis, that over time begins to layer in that pattern in our body. As always, if your chin draws away from the chest, do slide a blanket under your head. Not too much, not too little, so that the back of the head is more towards the lower part of the skull rather than the upper. So Barbara, I would slide just a blanket sliver under and just see how that feels. And notice if it feels like maybe that the back of the head got moved a little bit further away from the shoulders. And then with this information in mind, let's go ahead and bend up the knees. Bending up the knees, placing your hands on the lower belly. And so place your feet in a way that there is little to no effort at all in keeping your knees bent. Constructive rest position. Sensing the breath. Belly breathing, the diaphragmatic breath. Belly expands on the in-breath and then draws down. We're not flattening it, but you're feeling as you exhale how your abdominal muscles actually facilitate that muscle, squeezing in a little bit and helping the air move out. And one of my teachers recently said, and I have never had anybody else say that, one of the most efficient ways that we can strengthen the abdominis transversus, our corset muscle, is through belly breathing. And after having put that into practice consciously, I gotta say, I think that's true. And this is a muscle that's often hard to train well, because we are apt to add the other ones instead. So we will be working with the entire core lineup tonight in this work. In breath and out breath. And you guys are seasoned practitioners, so we're just going to go right into it. So now on the next in-breath, slowly lift the low back, rolling down to the tailbone. And as you exhale, go right into the flattening, hollowing out the belly. Relax to neutral. Take a full breath in and out. And then repeat. Inhale, arch. And as you exhale and flatten, can you feel the muscles of the lower abdomen contracting a little bit more forcefully? As you inhale, can you feel the muscle on the back contracting? So this is not about knocking it out of the park. If we always move to the fullest extent of any contraction, it's like skipping first and second gear. Going to burn out the clutch. So take a full breath in and out between and repeat. 3 more times. Lazy, easy. Making the movements different sizes. So you're not just doing the same thing every time. In the email I just sent out today, I talked about adaptability. What do we have access to? So after, you'll have done this about 6 times, arch and flat, just straighten your legs out and feel. Sense. Sense is a better word. Sensing is what we do with our body. Emotions is more of a mind thing. Letting your breath be your ears. Maybe your back lays a little flatter, there's a little bit more ease across the hips. Let's bend out the knees again. And this time, you're going to take your right hand under the head, But keep your left hand or place your left hand on the belly. Now we'll repeat the movement. The arch, just do an arch here, but as you exhale, contract and lift the head up, just the head on top of the shoulders, but feel these muscles contracting. So those are your flexors. And as you inhale and lower down, do they release? And then with that awareness, I got a thumbs up. We can now take the left knee in. So hold the left knee with your right hand. I said that backwards. Hold your left knee with your left hand. Sorry. I got it. Now let's take an inhale and arch. You're not going to move very far. And then exhale, flatten. So the muscles have to contract again as you draw your right elbow towards the left knee. So we're going to go up diagonally. And then inhale, releasing back down. Take a full breath in and out. Inhale, arch again. And exhale, diagonally drawing up again. Releasing down, moving as slowly as you can. Let's take a buffer breath again. And repeat. Following your breath cycle, still do the arch. And then as you curl up diagonally, do it 4 more times. You'll do a total of 6 times. Moving slowly, sensing the contraction, sensing the release. Taking care not to rush. Let this be, as we do in the Buddhist meditation, the walking meditation, you have arrived. You are already here. So no A to B, just A to A. Once you have completed 6-ish times, with the pauses, taking your time, just stretch out. And check in with what all happened. Listening with your breath. And then let's repeat on the other side. The left hand under, hold the right knee in. Inhale and arch. And exhale, drawing up. And slowly release. So feel the muscle contracting and then feel the muscle releasing. The more you contract, pull the belly in and up as you curl up, the more that they flex. Does it make a difference in the ease of the curling up? And moving at a pace that's comfortable. If there is discomfort, if there is pain, remember, back off, back off, back off. So about 6 times, 6 repetition. You're gaining access to muscle control. If we don't have it easily, when we go about using our bodies, we are not going to look to access it. And that's how that mobility box just gets smaller and smaller as time goes by. And after the 6th one, releasing, stretch back out. And we'll balance this out. So we're moving a little bit in a different pace. I always, no, I don't laugh. I never laugh. Well, I do laugh, but there, it comes across the screen all the time. 1 movement for fill in the blank. Get rid of fill in the blank. 1 easy movement. There is no one movement that will sort everything out, but the more we have in our tool bag, the better, because then we know our bodies and we know what to pull out, the sequence that will support our wellness. So now bending up the knees again. Take the hands back, both hands behind the head. So the arch and curl, will inhale again and arch. And exhale, flattening, pull the belly in and up as you draw the elbows together and lift the head and just the top of the shoulders. And then inhale, slowly release down. Slowly release down. Take a full breath in and out, once down. We'll work a little bit more on the elbows next week, but for today, let the elbows just relax out to the sides. And we'll repeat this one 2 more times. Inhale, arch. And exhale, flatten, draw the elbows in, and then contract these flexors. So the obliques are also flexor muscles. They're busy bees. Slowly release down. Once the head is down, let the elbows release out. Take a buffer breath in between. And we'll repeat it again. Inhale, arch, exhale, flatten. Front contract, elbows draws in and curling up. Squeeze the elbows together. Easy a lever for the trunk to work with. And then slowly release down. Take a buffer breath. Now lift both knees in so they hover over the hips. And we're going to repeat this one. Knees are bent, so just relax your lower legs, relax the knees. But they are hovering, so they are still hanging. Yeah, so the knees are pulled in, but the legs, the feet are relaxed, just dangling. Just let them be completely passive. We're going to inhale and arch here. And then exhale, we're going to curl up again, flatten the back, draw the elbows in, curling up. Feel again the the flexors, and then slowly, 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 slowly release them down. Once the head is down, let the elbows come down, let the feet come down, slide the legs out long and relax. Now notice how you feel. Feel inside the body from the middle of the chest and down to the pubic bone. And also in the inner groins. As you breathe in and out. And let the lower abdomen just rise freely. Can you relax completely so that the breath feels both deep and full? Fear, anxiety, anger, irritation. This is where it grabs, pulls everything in. And then let's relax the arms. Let's relax everything. Sorry, my bad. Relax the arms, relax the arms. See, that feels better, doesn't it? And now let's work on the side. So now bend up the knees and roll over onto your left side. Pull the knees up into the 90-90. And let's put the headband on. So we'll take the left arm, the right arm overhead. And so it is the muscle of the trunk that's going to lift the head. So if it's uncomfortable to have the arm overhead, you can take it behind too. But it is, again, the upper obliques and your chest muscle, the inner costals, that has to do the job. Let's take a breath in and then exhale. Slowly lift the head. Lift the head, contracting the muscle, and then slowly, slowly, slowly lower down. Muscles contracting, muscles releasing. Take a buffer breath. And again, breath in for nothing. And exhale. Contract the side, lift the head, so you are shortening the distance between shoulder and hip. And then slowly, slowly, slowly lengthening back out. Take a breath in for nothing. We'll do it one more time. On the out breath, side curl. So that your arm just provides a hammock for the head, so that we're not using the neck muscles to do this movement. And slowly release down. Now you can relax your top arm, and if you want to check in with the internal obliques, you can place your hand on your waist, on your right waist. Let's take a breath in and then lift your right foot as if you're opening a door. Are the muscles contracting? The waist is, or the hip is now moving up. Thank you, Barbara. Moving up towards the shoulder. Slowly release. Muscle contracting, muscle letting go. Take a buffer breath in between. And repeat 2 more times. Lifting on the out breath. Releasing as you inhale. And then after the third time, we're going to combine these two. So you'll put your headband back on. Take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, head and heel. But really, you're like a harmonica or an accordion. That's the word that's coming up. It's the same word in Danish. It gets me every time. Take a buffer breath once you are down. And repeat 2 more times. Notice those jerks and jitters, jumps in the movements. Both when we are engaging, do we need sort of like a running start, or can we make it smooth? Smooth and easy, but no strain. Once you have repeated it 3 times, I guess repeat it twice because you can't repeat something 3 times if you only do it 3 times. Then you're going to roll over onto your back. Sense. Where did we just increase circulation? Where did we create a little bit more space? A little bit more ease. And with as little effort as possible, find your way over onto your right side. Pulling the knees up. And we started with the head movement. And so you can, again, if having the arm overhead is not comfortable, you can take the hands behind if that feels better, but then make the movement smaller. So be mindful that you're not feeling this in your neck. Let's take a breath in for nothing and exhale. Draw the left armpit towards the left hip. So feel your gills closing on the left side. And then slowly, slowly, slowly going down. I invite you just to close your eyes so you can really keep your awareness inward as you practice. Again, repeating 2 more times. And after we've done that 3 times, no rush, you can relax your left arm. And placing it on the waist is just a nice little feedback again. Is the internal obliques firing? Take a breath in for nothing, and as you exhale, lift your right heel. Would it be? No, it'd be the left. Completely backwards. And slowly release. And again, really, like this is the first time you have observed and watched this, and you're so fascinated by the sensation, studying every little jump and jitter, and smooth it out. Take a buffer breath in between. And compare to your other side. Is this the easy side? Is this the more challenging side? Or are they just exactly the same? And if they are not the same, what makes it different? And then we go back, we bring it all together. Hand overhead, and then when you are ready, on and out breath. Repeating this one also 3 times. Notice if you are pulling the heel back towards the hip as you lift the leg. The hamstring may be trying to help you rather than the internal oblique. And after the third one, you're going to find your way over onto your back again. Pause, check in. Listening with the breath. Now the next one is the big X. You're going to separate your feet a little bit wider than the hips. And then sweep your arms up to the degree that it is comfortable for you. So they are also wider than your shoulders. So that, like, you look like a big X. So there's a ish line. If you were to see yourself from above, is there a line from your opposite arm to the leg? So you look like a big cross. So with the arms and the legs creating an even crossover. So sensing how wide your legs are, how wide your arms are. And then slowly stretch, reach your right heel out. It's like you're slinking out along the floor. And then let that go. And then reach your left arm in the opposite direction. And then let that go. Right leg again. Reaching it out. Relaxing the leg. Left arm. So you're doing sort of a John Travolta thing. Zigzagging across. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for you. And we're going to repeat this one about 10 times. So we've done about 3. And then as you reach and alternately, notice your waist and your rib cage on both sides, how they change back and forth. So you're taking your whole trunk with you. and how much you're able to incorporate that directly affects your reach. So if we're really tight across the waist, we lose a lot of mobility. So allow yourself just to let the movement grow in the way that feels organically easy. You're not pushing or forcing or straining, but you're letting your whole trunk participate in these movements. Just letting your head roll as it wishes. And again, if you feel like you find discomfort, just back off, back off, back off, back off, back off. And just pause and sense. We've done diagonally across. You can slide your arms down a little bit and you can study. What did that do in my body? Am I going to be wasting my time on the other side? Let's do the other side. Sliding the arms up again. And this time, let your left leg reach out, press out through the heel, slinky the leg out, and let it just retract back in. Reach your right arm out and let it retract. And just go back and forth. Sensing again how the area between your armpit and hip participate in this reach. And how much more span of mobility you have when we can lengthen the sides make it easy. Again, we're going for about 10 times. And then pausing. Relax completely. If it's more comfortable, take your arms down, pause. So these interludes are so important. And this is where the mind, the motor cortex, gets a little bit more time to rewire. So neurons that fire together, wire together. But if we are just doing a whole lot of stuff very quickly, it just gets all kind of muddled. So more is not better. Now let's put these together. Slide your arms up again. So you'll start by stretching the left arm upward and then relax. The next, the right leg, and then relax. And then hop over to the left leg and the right arm. And then we're back to the left arm. Right leg. So in this fashion, continuing at a pace that is comfortable for you, where it feels easy. Notice when you begin to force, when you start to tighten the jaw to make the movement. How is the waist? How is the side chest and waist incorporate into this movement? So the spine is just like a seaweed, just gently moving in the water, following the current that is surrounding it. Not bracing. Let your spine move completely unencumbered. So I know for somebody with a tad of ADHD, keeping track of 10 rounds is a tall order. So I am watching you when the arms comes down, then I'm going to call it. So now we have spent a fair bit of time on getting length on the side. Now we begin to move into rotation of the arms. So I see some body parts getting a little TLC, and just notice that, shoulders. So yeah, we don't do a lot of mobility where we move our shoulders. We don't walk around with our arms up overhead. So these muscles are being used in a different way. It's good information. Now we're going to bend up the knees again, and I encourage you just to take care of your arms, your shoulders, if as we continue to move in this sequence. If something doesn't feel right, back off, or if something hurts, back off, back off, back off. Now you're going to cross the left leg over the right. And then take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, let the legs tilt slowly to the left, only as far as they go naturally. Inhale and bring them back up. Go back and forth. Again, about 10 times. Make it easy. Exhaling down. Inhale back up. Make sure that your right shoulder stays on the floor. So make it easy, make it enjoyable. This is dessert, pure dessert. Restoring mobility. Release, realign, and then strengthen. But, and this was my metaphor for last week, if the bow is already pulled completely tight, strengthening it, there's nothing to tighten. It's just going to go. So right now, we're getting the right tension. And as you come back, Maybe this is about the 10th time. Slide the legs out. Just check in with your right hip and leg compared to the left side. How does that feel? And what about the right side of the chest compared to the left side of the chest? Now let's bend up the knees again. And then we're going to continue on this movement here, but working on this side. So you're laying on your back, knees are bent up. Now take the arms straight up into the air, palms facing one another. And then keeping the legs where they are. Pressing the palms firmly together. So this is the steeple move. And you'll take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, you will lift or tilt the arms slowly to the right as far as they'll go comfortably. That's the key word. Turn your head and eyes to the right as well. And then come back up. And then repeat. Go back to the right. So the palms stay firmly together. Let it be easy. And then come back to center and relax. Slide the legs out. Notice the ribs. Take a breath in and out. In this world of today, I hear see as little as this word speed gets trapped in our bodies. We are bombarded non-stop with things that either for real demands our attention or just appears like it demands our attention. Now bending up your knees, cross the left leg over the right again. And let your legs drop again to the left. And now let your head roll to the right. As the knees go to the left, head rolls right, and then coming back up again. Repeating, and if it's available, take your right arm up and over the head as the head turns and you're back to center. But if that bothers your right shoulder, skip it. Is it available? So arm comes down as knees come back up. So this is coming up and down. And then as you come up to center, just let that go. Did the legs go down deeper this time with the arm and head movement? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe the second go around was just a little bit easier. Is the left side starting to want to participate in all of this? Let's go on to the other side. So you'll bend up your knees again. Let's switch. Nope, that's not true. We did start with that. So now we're going to the right. Right leg crossed over. And exhale, go to the side. Let the knees go to the right side. And inhaling back up. Did you find the grabber, Barbara? I hate that grabber. It's the tensor fascia latae, sneaky little dude. It ain't happening. I would lift up into bridge pose, as that is one of the extensor muscles, and see if that will facilitate it. And remember what I always say, if it bothers anything, just sit this one out. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody else, when you come up, let's take a breather. Uncross the legs. Slide them out, let everything pause. And Barbara, as you come down, draw the right knee into the chest. Don't use the hands. Don't use the hands. Just draw the knee in. Slide it out long. And then draw the left knee in. Don't use your hands. And slide it out long. Feeling okay? Then we did the steeple move. That was our next one. So let's bend up the knees again. And take the palms together. And now arms and head travels to the left. Tilting on the out breath, returning to center on the in breath. Making it easy. And then as you come back up to center, let's release the arms down. And then again, let's cross the right leg over the left. And arm now swings, the left arm will come into action, right? So as you lift the arm, as you draw the knees down to the right, left arm draws up, head turns left. Make the movements as smooth and easy, like you were just saying, hey, meeting a friend on the street. Someday we'll be able to do that again, won't we? As the knees go down, arm goes up. And then next time you come up to center, we're gonna wrap it up with the washcloth, but take a pause first. So just unhook, slide out. Feel the breath. How much of your body is resting on the floor? What are the sensations? And then we'll take the legs up again. Arms out to the sides. So we'll start the arms first. Roll the left arm up on the surface. Up. So just roll the arm. And you'll feel how the left shoulder presses down into the floor. Now roll the right arm opposite. And then switch. Getting the shoulders, the wash, hence the name washcloth. And then I think we're ready to rock and roll. Rolling the knees, so releasing the knees down to the side that the arm is rolling down towards. Other arm will be rolling up, and that's the side you want to look to. Now you just move slowly back and forth. Notice how the whole body is twisting, lengthening, stretching. And try to make this as delicious and delightful as you can. Lazy, if you were cat, child, with no agenda other than feeling good, 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 good. And then as you come up to center, or up to center, to the middle, just pause again, last one. Stretch the legs out. And let's bank it. Take the arm, interlace the fingers, take the arms up overhead, stretch long. Draw the legs together, press up through the heels. And the arms don't have to come to the ground, just elbows straight. So consolidate towards the midline. And let's take the arms up, switch. And do the other side with the hands, get long. Tailbone again towards the heels, belly in and up. Make it easy, make it comfortable, don't strain. And just take the arms down and just relax just for a moment here, completely at ease. Dakella always says nothing to do, nothing to be. This body of ours that we inhabit for just a blink of an eye. And it is ever changing. Let's bend up our knees. Roll over onto one side. And pause before you pop up. We've been down for an hour. But we will slowly return to standing, and we'll do our little twisty thing that we started with, our assessment. So as you come to stand, and again, standing kind of in the same place where you stood before when I had you just do the easy rotations, and notice how your body was turning. And I asked you to mark a spot behind you and just notice, are you rotating a little easier now than when we started? I am going to stop the recording so I can get your feedback.